a simultaneous sigh of relief for Hawkeye Nation. Iowa women's basketball fans getting massive news on this Monday as guard Molly Davis is expected to return for postseason play. We'll talk about the details, what Lisa Bluder said during her Hawk Talk availability, and the official statement released by the Iowa Athletic Department. Just massive news. I think many people expected the worst. And it sounds like Molly Davis is going to return. We'll talk about it in just a second. But first, want to thank Under the Kitchen. Check out Randy Engel and his authentic Hawkeye artwork. He's got some awesome deals, NIL deals with select Iowa athletes. Makes for a great gift, too. Check it out, Under the Kitchen on Facebook. You can also visit his website. It's underthekitchen.square.site. That's underthekitchen.square.site. Check out Randy Engel's authentic Hawkeye artwork. Also, Iowa floor covering. They are located down in Bondurant, right in the central part of the state. Give them a call at 515-379-7000. Whether it's tile, carpet, flooring of some sort, maybe it's a tile shower, Iowa floor covering can help you out, get you steered in the right direction. Give them a call. Again, 515-379-7000 or online at iowafloorcovering.com. So the news that just broke moments before recording this segment. Iowa guard, women's basketball guard Molly Davis, who is a senior, is expected to return. Molly was in a lot of pain after an injury during Sunday's game against Ohio State. And a lot of people, including our own Kasheen Alexander, who's co-host of the postgame show here from the Hawkeye of the Storm, a lot of us expected her to be done. I mean, especially this late in the year, early March, as you head into Big Ten tournament play and then, of course, NCAA tournament play. Molly had to be carried off the court after suffering a first half lower leg injury. I mean, we're talking completely carried off the court, no pressure being put on that leg. And eventually she came out for senior day festivities after the game in a wheelchair. And the speech she gave was along the lines of what you'd expect someone with the heart and toughness of someone like Molly Davis. Talked about being undersized and how, it really hasn't made a difference in her career because she's had heart, because she's had determination. And so, again, most of us expected that to be her final moments as a Hawkeye, and we all grieved with her, in a sense. It was a devastating end to her career, at least we thought. Lisa Bluder, though, on this Monday, releasing this statement through the Iowa Athletic Communications Department. Quote, University of Iowa women's basketball redshirt senior Molly Davis suffered an injury to her right knee against Ohio State on Sunday. The announcement came Monday by head coach Lisa Bluder. The 5'7" guard is expected to undergo physical therapy next week to improve mobility for postseason play. While we feel for Molly that she got injured during senior day, we are so thankful that the injury she sustained is not season-ending, said Bluder. Our program has appreciated everyone's support and prayers as we look forward to her return at some point during the postseason. Of course, Molly Davis has started 26 games this year, averaging over 6 points, over 3 assists, and is leading the team in assist-to-turnover ratio. The native of Midland, Michigan, has played a pivotal role in every game for the Hawkeyes this season, and that is an absolutely true statement. Go back to what Iowa did against Indiana in Game 1 in Carver, how crucial Molly was in that game. And then she got sick later on in the Big Ten season, and Iowa went through some spurts. I think about the game at Nebraska where, hey, if Caitlin Clark is at all dinged up or perhaps at all fatigued, or perhaps that box and one defense that we've seen some teams initiate against the Iowa offense, any of those things happen, Iowa struggles. They need Molly Davis and her ball handling, especially as you get to postseason play. And although Kylie Fierbach, Sydney Falter, those ladies are playing better, they're not Molly Davis as it relates to being a pure point. Here's the other thing I appreciate about Molly Davis, not to kind of go off on a tangent, but I've talked about her selflessness on this team. Let's not forget she came from Central Michigan. She was averaging like 16 field goal attempts per game. And I looked up these numbers. She was averaging 8 3-point attempts per game. She's kind of got that unorthodox type of release on her 3-point shot, but it works. She's actually shooting 41% from 3 this year for the Hawks, but she's taking less than 2 per game. And that's been the story since she came over to Iowa City here last season. Taking on a lesser role, but competing for bigger and better things at Iowa. You just really appreciate the toughness of Molly Davis and really are thankful that she is not done for the year. Now, you saw in that press release that she's expected to undergo physical therapy next week. So my guess is she's got a week to rest that injury, which is a kneecap injury, patella injury, not a ligament or anything of that nature. So that's good news. Lisa Bluder confirmed here just a few minutes ago in her Hawk Talk segment on the radio that Molly Davis is going to miss the Big Ten tournament, just like the press release kind of implied, but she is hopeful to be back for the NCAAs. Again, they get some time off after the Big Ten tournament. The men play their Big Ten tournament next week, and then the two tournaments are aligned. So the Hawkeye women get an extra week off after their Big Ten tournament. Again, just a simultaneous sigh of relief for Hawkeye women's basketball, because Molly Davis has been a real important part of this team. And we started to have conversations yesterday on the postgame show, like, what is the future after Molly and Caitlin leave? There are some big question marks. Aaliyah Guyton suffered a serious knee injury not that long ago. We saw Kenise Johnson, who apparently suffered a serious knee injury recently. She was on crutches during the game on Sunday. So we'll worry about that down the line. The staff will have to take that into account. I'm sure they already have and are thinking about plans for the future. But for the immediate future, it's the Big Ten tournament. Iowa will play Friday without Molly Davis, but then they hope to get Molly back for the NCAA tournament, which starts in a little over a couple of weeks. So glad to bear some good news. It seems like more often than not, when we're talking about injuries, it's bad news. I was not expecting this. You always hope that somehow it's not that season-ending injury, and it seems like more often than not it is. Not the case, it sounds like, for the very tough-minded and tough-spirited Molly Davis. Appreciate you tuning in for another segment of the show here from the Hawkeye of the Storm. Speaking of the Big Ten tournament, I will be releasing my Big Ten tournament predictions tomorrow. If you're watching this on Monday, March 4th, I'll be releasing my filled-out Big Ten women's basketball tournament bracket, including my projected winner of the tournament up in Minneapolis. I'll be releasing that tomorrow right here on the show. Stay tuned. More on the way right here from the Hawkeye of the Storm.